Hello. Let's double check something. Yep. Hello. Creaky chair. Hello. Trying to get myself situated. Oh. Hello. Welcome once again to a Prog Reborn. My name is M. Costa, and we are back at it with my progression style playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. If you don't know what that means, you got two ways. You can always check the description below the video or the VOD, or if you happen to be in live chat, you can type in !intro like I just did to get a link to that same introductory video to appear. If you like what I'm doing with this series, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a like. And if you want to know the next time that I go live so that you can participate in chat or in the stream itself, best and easiest way right now is to go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can get those go live notifications. Alrighty, so what do we have left to do? We have been making our way through the level 45 job quests. We have done Black Mage, Bard, Dragoon, White Mage, Scholar, and Summoner. So that means we still have Monk, Paladin, and Warrior left to do. So I think we're gonna start with our buddy, the Warrior. Let's go ahead and travel to Costa del Sol. This is level 45, so each job has two job quests, one that gets you a new ability and another that gets you 4 pieces of your job specific gear. One thing I forgot to mention at the starting preamble is this is not my first time playing through this game. My main is up to date with patch 6.5 as of this recording. So and I like to bring in additional context or additional information whenever I feel like it would bring a little bit more to the table, or if I'm just randomly talking. So if you are sensitive to spoilers for anything post this point to patch 6.5, then this is your warning now to scoot on out. So let's talk to Curious Gorge here. Curious Gorge would send you searching for ancient relics, looking the part. Welcome again, my friend. I was wondering when your travels would bring you back this way. It just so happens I have some exciting news. I have finally uncovered the clues pertaining to the whereabouts of the lost armor of my ancestors. As it turns out, after the fallen hero casts the 5 pieces from the mountaintop, 5 of his pupils set out to recover them, intending to restore their master's name. What is more, they were actually successful in this search. However, when it came to reuniting the set, the armor's great power began to work upon their minds, and not one could bring himself to relinquish his piece. Realizing that their master's fatal pride was born of the artifact's combined influence, the peoples resolved to keep the pieces separate, and to share between 5 the power that might otherwise have consumed 1. Thus did each of them carve his own place in history. The chronicles go on to say that years later, prior to death, each of the pupils returned to the scene of his own greatest victory and buried the artifact in his possession in a final attempt to prevent any one warrior from holding the set. And that is where the pieces still rest. You may be interested to know that the armor I wear is itself a replica of the set crafted by my ancestors, identical in all respects save for its lack of arcane enchantments that adorned the original. I know what you might be thinking. If we were to bring the 5 pieces together once more, it would prevent us from being corrupted in the same fashion. Well, I've thought of that. What we need only do is trace the runes we find on the armor onto every piece of warrior gear. That way, there would be no need to worry about a single proud fool becoming drunk on all his surpassing power, as every warrior in the realm would be possessed with the self-same might. It's quite brilliant, if I do say so myself. So how about we split up and begin the search straight away? 3 of the locations seem quite self-evident. I would entrust this search there to you, while I track down the other 2 with tome in hand. One piece is said to be buried under the great rocks of Boulder Downs in Kurthis, while another slumbers peacefully at Camp Tranquil in the South Shroud. The last of the 3 rests untouched at Parada's Peace in western Venley. Unearth those 3 relics and bring them to me. With any measure of fortune, I'll have tracked down the remaining 2 by the time you return. Boulder Downs and Kurthis. We are about half a week away from the Japanese Fan Fest, which I think is going to be excellent. Part of the reason that I even really decided to go ahead with this plan, I've been thinking about this type of playthrough for quite a while. Given that, like many of you who come by these streams, are also an emotional vampire, somebody who likes watching other people play the game. I don't know why I'm still talking with the voice that I used for Curious Gorge. And so but you know, if I really had an interest in what was going on in 6.5, continuing what was going on in 6.5, I probably would just be doing 6.5 stuff. But the sort of the obvious lull that we're in gave me a good opportunity to think about doing this and set me on the path. Now that I am doing this, even, you know, when 6.55 comes out and stuff like that, I'm still going to be doing this, and I'm definitely going to be doing this. I don't really know what I'll end up. I said I was definitely going to be, but then I had to pause for a second. Give me a second to finish to do this real quick. Where you are? There you are. I was about to say I would be doing this even during Dawn Trail, but I don't know if I'm gonna commit that hard to saying that. I will 100% continue this. I shouldn't say 100%. You never know what happens. And also, I don't know why I'm running around really Camp Tranquil. But I will do my best to maintain this series. Even as new content comes out. I probably won't stream. Well, we'll see. I'd streamed when I was still on Twitch. I had streamed my playthroughs of the other patches. On my main. And I might do that on my Twitch stream. Since I do have a couple of friends who, from Twitch who would show up for stuff like that. But we'll ultimately see there. I probably will not, if I don't do it on my Twitch stream, I'll probably not do it on here, because I want to keep this stream focused, or this channel and this stream focused on the MSQ. Ooh, I can do leave her a ticket. Focused on the Prog Reborn stream. Maybe I do them as unlisted streams. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We are thinking several months ahead. Oh yeah. We never know what the future holds. Things I'm looking forward to with the upcoming FanFest. Almost certainly looking forward to seeing Fimhroth. Not that I really care about Fimhroth. I just want them to be done with it. It's not something that people are asking about anymore. Why does this guy have so much health? I really want to see the new job. I really want to see whether it's Pictomancer or Green Mage or whatever. I don't remember too much. I wasn't actively participating in I didn't really start playing again Final Fantasy 14 until Endwalker actually came out. I wasn't really following the pre-Endwalker hype. So this is my first real experience with the FanFests. I don't. Last time they did like a job actions trailer, which was pretty cool. I wonder if they're going to do something similar to that here. How fares your search, Em? Have you found aught of my tribe's ancient relics? Sorry, I gotta get back to the voice. Should you have the pieces of armor, don them and show them to me. Oh, I thought I had them. So I just didn't. That you found the gear is most gratifying, but would truly fancy to see you in it. I have them. Oh, is it saying that my boots are... Oh, I bet you I didn't have enough space in the inventory. Not that, here. Yeah, we're gonna need to clear this out soon. Beat. Return to inventory, equip. There we go. Wait, Stand still for a moment. The armor so becomes you that I could not tell you had it on first glance, but now I can have no doubt. I sense the power of the runes inscribed on each piece resonating with your soul crystal. This is the long-lost armor of the warrior. I too have found one of the relics, but I have run into an unexpected rub. When I donned the piece, I felt nothing, as if the lost treasure were no different from the unadorned replicas already in my possession. Whether the power has been lost to it, or it needs to be awakened by means yet unknown to me, this I cannot say. The ancient texts still hold many mysteries beyond my ability to decipher. But before I forget, I should mention to you that I did indeed track down another piece before I was waylaid by this current conundrum. I find it sealed away at Red Mantis Falls. It's right over there. So we'll go Wineport, and while we're at Wineport, let's take a moment to clear out the inventory a little bit. Repairs. Is there nobody to actually sell stuff to? It's repairs. I'm merchant and mender. Okay. Purchase weapons. Sell. That's definitely sellable. Right, I can sell everything that's not currently on a... Doesn't currently have that little symbol on the bottom. Has a symbol on the bottom. Machinist gear. Pretty funny. Should be 8 total. Yeah, including the one that I'm wearing. Okay. Here, I think we need one of those visors to sell some of this other stuff. Definitely one of the more annoying parts. Trying to do this thing where you're leveling all at the same time is inventory management. Going to get even more annoying when we do get access to poetics. Can't I sell this? No. Dun, dun, here. So stop telling me about it being unique and untradeable. What I'm doing. Aren't that unique? Now, when I get expert deliveries, then it becomes a little more interesting. Because I would send those to the expert delivery. Some time get through here, but we're almost done. Come on. Whoosh. Whoosh. Alrighty. We're good to go now. Okay. Well, let's do repairs while we're here. If I remember correctly, they've alluded to Dragoon and Astrologian getting significant overhauls. So, given the way that the job trailer worked, I wonder how much you're actually going to be able to see how different it is. Or, if I remember correctly, again, I wasn't actually playing during the time, so I don't really know how much different it was. There was talk about Summoner being overhauled from Shadowbringers to Endwalker. And then there was also talk of, I don't know if there was talk of it, but there was, they also did a, I don't know if it was an overhaul, but it was a very flashy change to Paladin with, what do they call these things? Confiteers. All those extra confiteers. Blade of Truth, Blade of Wisdom, stuff like that, if I remember correctly. Coming up top there, Curious Gorge. I see your search was a fruitful one. I'm pleased to say I've also gleaned some insight into why the armor I found seems devoid of power. As I alluded to, the ancient warrior's armor derives its power from a concordance between the incantations engraved on the steel itself and the inner beast of the wearer. but my own resonance with the plating was too weak as to allow a proper connection with it. And now I think I know why. My soul crystal. It once burned bright like yours, but since the events at Wineport, it had been reduced to a lifeless husk. Why has this happened, I cannot say, but the tome is quite clear about what would happen were the powers of the armor to be bestowed upon one whose soul is weak. The inner beast would devour the mind of the wearer, who would go on a mindless rampage that would end only with the mercy of death. Yes, not unlike the crazed fiends we battle. I believe the armor sensed my weakened state, foresaw the potential danger, and then knowingly shut off its powers to me. I dare say we are fortunate that it did. I feel as though an apology is in order at this juncture. I must tell you I left this final piece of armor where I found it. The breastplate, as the piece closest to the warrior's heart, has powers far greater and more dangerous than the other pieces. Uncertain as I was to the reason for my being unable to connect with the plate's mystical energy, I feared to take it would mean imperiling both myself and those around me. Your soul may burn stronger than mine, yet I still worry for your fate were you to put it on. Look deep within yourself, Em. When you feel yourself ready, and only then, come speak to me again. Proof is in the pudding. Curious Gorge would share with you the location of the final piece of the relic armor. You would truly seek the ultimate relic of my people, the armor that could consume your very soul of the most puissant warrior. Very well, if you are truly convinced of your readiness, I will not be the one to stand in your way. But I beg of you, Em, the moment you feel yourself losing control, and your inner beast overcoming you, cast the armor aside. Cast it from the highest mountain or into the depths of the ocean, I care not. For once the beast consumes your soul, there is no going back. You will rage on, a monster, leaving naught but carnage in your wake. The realm will bleed and history will repeat itself. I cannot allow this to happen. Though my people who have been shunned long enough, I would see the coming of a new age in which warriors protect the weak and are loved and admired by the people of the realm. My years of battle and sleepless nights spent poring over the ancient texts, all has been for this day. Brother, I know not where fate has led you. Yet I feel certain that, in spirit, you stand with me today. Together we will restore the honor of our people. You must forgive my sentiment, Em. As I said, this has been a long time coming. The breastplate you seek is in the highlands of Kurthis, at the spring they call the Weaving Saint. I will stay behind. The events at Wideport still weigh heavy on my heart. We obviously don't get the breastplate, but I forget what happens. Does his brother show up and take it? Boom. Boom. Alrighty. Maybe the armor isn't activated and I need to do something to re-enable it, which I won't be able to do until I hit level 50. Hand over the breastplate, M. After much wrestling with the thought, I simply cannot entrust such a relic to an outsider who may be overwhelmed by its power. I return now to Hidden Falls. If you would have words with me, then come. I will not run away. Alright. I forgot that's how it went down. He was like, actually, no. Sandstorms are very, very dangerous. I'm sorry. I did not mean for things to happen like this, but I had no choice. I've wrestled long and hard with the matter, but this is my decision. I cannot trust you with this power, even when I do not even trust myself. That's right, I won't attempt to don the plate again, either. Nor will anyone. Not until I have proof that there is one with a will strong enough to withstand the beast's siren call. Peer deep within your soul, M. Peer into the eyes of the beast that stares back at you. You truly say that you can engage the monster in battle and emerge victorious. I shall return to the tome. If there are any answers to be found, they lie within those pages. In the meantime, continue your training, that you might find an answer of your own. I remember liking Curious Gorge by the end of all of this stuff. And they definitely, like, rewrite his style. Because right now, he's as boring as these fucking paladin guys. Give me a second. I need some water. Like, his quest is just let me be clear. His quest is sorry. Let me read a book again. Sorry. It's too powerful. The pursuit of power. Professor Eric would have you do his bidding yet again. You two played me for a fool. The data the simpleton monk brought me was absolutely astounding, groundbreaking, revolutionary, yet I remained objective in my analysis as a scholar must. Poring over the data, I finally arrived at the disheartening conclusion. The two of you took measurements of the same area. The values were nearly identical. Equivalences mocking me as I struggle to reconcile them. I could neither sleep nor eat lest I waste time not drawing nearer the truth. And for what? Tell me. What is it you two were doing in the field? Bah. Now this bloody chakra nonsense again. How many times must I tell you? It is naught but imperceptible ether. Call it what it is. And to think I had mind to put your names under mine when my hypothesis was published. This life force, this spiritual energy, this God's forsaken eternal soul essence, I care not what primitive nomenclature those backwards monks wish to assign it. It is ether, plain and simple. They claim they are able to manipulate and amplify it through discipline and the opening of the so-called chakra. False. It is nothing more than the ethereal regulation of organisms, a basic and natural concept. In an attempt to explain that which science does not yet fully understand, the monks have erected an institution of control. Their preachings are unassailable by design, for none can disprove the existence of the unknowable. They promise power in return for objection and servitude, control and power indeed, only that of man. It is the very essence of a religion, and should be treated with contempt as all religions should. Ether resides in all living things, as do natural mechanisms with the capacity to regulate it. It is simply life, not some mystical, supernatural endowment. I concede, of course, that the heightened mental faculties of man allow for the potential to gain conscious control over those mechanisms. Indeed, it would appear that you and the simpleton monk have already achieved that end. The indiscretion and impertinence of youth. I suppose it can be forgiven once. In my own youth, I was not the model of perfection you see before you. I too have made what some might call mistakes. Not myself, but some. In our talks together, the simpleton monk often spoke of the 7th chakra. Its awakening is thought to be the highest achievement among monkhood. I make it a habit to know the tenets of my intellectual enemies. It was the flow of the ether within the two of you which betrayed your falsehood. The whispering of your chakra, as I'm sure the monks would rush to call it. But serendipity most often visits the industrious. Just so, it is precisely these ethereal whispers that prove to be most intriguing. The waves of these sounds resonated perfectly with the ether of the battleground. I can see by your vapid expression that you are missing my point. Allow me to spell it out. It follows that if one were to visit a battlefield with a certain ethereal wave amplitude and frequency, it would resonate with one's own ether. This is the phenomenon responsible for the initial opening of your own chakra. Can I believe I am being reduced to speaking in these terms? It stands to reason that for any ethereal wave, there may be a location that will resonate with it. Think of the implications, Em. If the 7th chakra these months speak of truly exists, then so too must an ultimate battleground to bond with it. The concentration of ether in such a place would be unlike anything ever recorded. I forgive your past treachery. Guide me as it did to this great discovery. That, and I need you to do more work for me. Here, take this new etherometer. Make for Lark's Call in the East Shroud. My research indicates it is a very promising tract indeed. Set up the etherometer as you have others in the past, then kill whatever you must to obtain a strong reading. Slaying beasts there will release the ether of the land they are seeped in, and it may then resonate with your own. I suppose in the primitive terms of the monkhood, that would translate to the expansion of your chakra. Oh, and you'll not be crossing paths with the simpleton monk this time. I'll be sending him to take readings at East End. I've no intentions of allowing you two to conspire to impede my research again. If you care to know more about the events that have transpired at Lark's Call, I suggest you pay a visit to your local library. East End, on the other hand, is a fascinating subject of which I never tire speaking. Ask me about it at any time if your curiosity ever gets the better of you. East End is just that, the eastern end of the Black Shroud. The Autumn War marked the beginning of the hostilities between Alamago and Gridania. The first major victory in that war came at the First Battle of Tinoqua, and it belonged to Alamago. Defeated, the Gridanians retreated to the safety of the Five Hangs. The front was splintered, and afterward they would resort to opportunistic ambushes and the constant redeployment of troops to continue their resistance. The Alamegans confident of ultimate victory, enjoined Gridania to surrender. As conditions, they demanded that all of the east and portions of the Central Shroud be relinquished, and perhaps more disturbingly, that the Seed Seers be taken as wards of Alamigo, where they would be met with no harm. Needless to say, Gridania refused. Providence was to be delivered to the force borne by the neighboring nation of Ishgard. Wary of Alamigo's ambitions for the region, the sea appealed to Limsa Laminsa and Ul'dah for aid. The three joined Gridania in her declaration of war against Alamigo and sent troops to reinforce the front. But this was far from a gesture of charity. It is easy to see what the motives of the sea were. Should certain sections of the Black Shroud be annexed to Alamigo, Ishgard's southern and eastern borders would become extremely vulnerable to a possible invasion. For their part, Limsa Laminsa and Ul'dah had virtually nothing to lose by entering into the war, and yet everything to gain by curbing the power of Alamigo in the realm. Even more, victory would place Gridania in their debt. And so it came to pass that these four great nations joined into a grand alliance to combat the advance of Alamigo. The fighting which was to follow would later be named the Second Battle of Tinoqua. The heaviest and most devastating combat took place on a tract of land called East End. In the beginning, there were several small-scale skirmishes, but the Allied powers succeeded in foiling the stratagems of Alamigo at every turn. Feeling the tide begin to turn against them, Alamigo dispatched its pikemen, known far and wide for their effectiveness against mounted units, such as the Knights of Ishgard. To rally the troops even more, King Manfred himself took to the field to lead them. At first, it seemed as though Alamigo had succeeded in reversing its fortune, as the Allies began a slow retreat toward East End. This was a clever ploy, however, designed to lure the pikemen into the dense growth of the forest, where their long polearms would be unwieldy and nearly useless. It was during these days that the archers of Gridania would prove their value beyond the bow, singing songs of heroism and glory in the field to bolster their allied troops. It is said that this gave birth to the bard tradition. The archers of Gridania excelled at combat in the dense vegetation of the Black Shroud, and their arrows inflicted heavy casualties on the Alamegans. In the end, General Gilbert was slain, King Manfred severely wounded, and Alamigo completely and utterly defeated. And that is a brief summation of the history of East End, the site of the end of the forest and the end of the war, both. Do you know, I can almost feel you getting less stupid, Em. I really love the monk questline. Even with him being an utter asshole, which he is a piece of shit. A pretentious Redditor atheist. He at least has a personality. And he's interesting. And he gives you a lot of great lore about the game and about bits and pieces that you might not have paid attention to. same description that we've had before. Alrighty, back to Ul'dah. I very much look forward to the readings of both your and Widargelt's aetherometers. What's this? You're already finished. And what are you standing there for? Come, give me the aetherometer. Amazing, simply amazing. And your soul crystal, it's glowing more vibrantly than ever before, is it not? I will begin my analysis of the data with all haste. You've come to be quite the model pupil, Em. What that I could say the same for the monk simpleton. Excuse me. I can see the feeble gears turning in your mind. Come, there's no need to feel shame at your ignorance. If you wish to know what has transpired, you need only ask. I promise to use small words. Miss Eric wishes to speak with you about Widargelt. The simpleton monk asks that I send you his way should I see you. He waits for you at Little Alamigo in southern Fanaland. Surely you see Widargelt for the danger he is. He is the most dangerous type of mind, one blinded by revolution and revenge. I do wish you'd tell him yourself that people should live for the future rather than the past. You thought I did not know that he was of the Alamigan resistance. How saddening it is that on the rare occasions you do trouble yourself to think you are wrong. Of course I know. What manner of imbecile do you take me for? No doubt Widargelt thinks me the idiot. False. Those two eyes see far more. These two eyes see far more than you know. I, too, am an Alamigan and love my homeland every bit as much as he. Now, go now, hurry to Little Alamigo. I will keep you no longer. No doubt, Widargelt is already awaiting your arrival. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You spoke to Eric. Do not lie to me, brother. You told him who I am, what I seek to do. I am not angered. He tried to sway me from my path. He believes resistance will only leave more dead. I expect as much from him. I feigned understanding. He asked much of me, of the monkhood and of the fist. He asked of the 7th chakra. My answers excited him. He said they would advance his studies. I too learned from him. I am nearer to the 7th chakra. Soon the resistance will rise. You too will see. Very soon. Others do not understand. Alamigo tried to protect them. We were the shield of the realm. We bled to fend off Garlemald. None here know our suffering. None here can imagine it. The lives we led after the fall, after the shield was sundered. I have traveled far and wide. I have met many souls, but none are as you. You have a gift. Yours is a great strength, united to ours, brother. Help us reclaim our home. Your efforts will be rewarded. Look upon my garments. This is the war garb of the monkhood. It attunes to the wearer's chakra, enables it to realize its fullest expression. The cloth is imbued with the power of Rhalgr. Only monks of his fist may don it. Only those who overcome many trials. I will tell you how it can be yours. Fear not, I require you to speak no vows. I ask only that you fight with us. Give yourself to our cause. You long for adventure. I understand. But such longings can wait. This cannot. See Alamigo freed. Then enjoy your own freedoms. What say you, brother? You have the heart of a true monk. You are different from the others in this realm. Hear this. A set of our war garb was stolen. The Fist has tracked the bandits. We know where 3 of the relics are. Here in southern Fanland, the Sepulchre and the Circle of the Templars. In northern Fanland, the abandoned Amagina Mithril Mine. Your soul crystal will react to the relics. Draw near them, and they will glow. By this power, you can find them. The Fist's honor has been trampled upon. May the heretics you find pay for their sin. Eric has sold his soul to this land, but he is a knowledgeable man. He knows more than I of the monkhood and of the Fist. Speak with him if you would know more of our way. The man revels in hearing himself speak. I await the day we fight side by side, brother. Go now, and go well. So we got one in the Sepulchre. Alrighty. Got one. Down there. Jump across. Yes. Let's fight these. And now you're this way? Alrighty. Kill this other one. Abandoned mine. I really like the monk's gear. The monk class armor, say, or job armor. I think it's on this side. It's all the way up there. I think these are Lambs of Dalamud, if I remember correctly. Which is a faction that doesn't really isn't mentioned too much. I think that they took over Temtara. And then you do deal with them in the Alliance raid quest in Endwalker. Very briefly. You have returned. The first 3 relics are yours, and now the Fist has located the 4th. It is a Kikiran merchant who deals in contraband. The 4th relic is among his wares. Hurry to Lenosha. Find this Kikiran. Take back that which is yours by right. Let's heal up a little bit before make this talk. Stinky Rogadin, come to stop Kiki Rune's business. Come to take shinies. Kill him. Kill the Stinky. Hey, Momoja. Dawn Trail reference. Don't kill Kiki Rune. Please don't kill. Take back Monk Circle. Take and spare. Kikiran only lived to like 30 or something like that. The 4th relic is now yours. You have done well, brother. But know this, there is another relic, a 5th and final piece. It will be yours, a gift from brother to brother, given on the day Alamigo stands free once more. That day is near. Eric sent word not long ago. He claims his revolution has begun as well. Made a grand discovery, now is setting it to paper. I look forward to his work. With it, we will know all we must. The day he finishes will be the day Alamigo is reborn. Return to him now, brother. Ask for yourself when the day will be. May Rauger watch over you. Boom, 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 boom. I'm afraid I haven't time for you now, I'm pinning my thesis based on the ethereal data you and the simpleton collected. There have been significant developments since we last spoke. Or rather, since last I spoke and you stood before me with that ever vapid expression. Soon I will complete my work and present it at a conference to my peers. Surely you can pass the time until then, punching and kicking and pursuing other monkey interests, yes? Go do that then. Cool. Last and least, we got our paladin quests. Probably going to finish these with a little time to spare. Depending on how I feel, I might just do some more hunting log, or I might just call it. Jinlins wishes to assign you your most daunting trial yet, Poisoned Hearts. Welcome, friend. I have important news for you. In my search for the traitor, I've been looking through old records and discovered something chilling. Around the time the traitor Solk was named captain, several famed soldiers of the Sultan Sorn met with untimely deaths. But strangely, our records do not say how they died. Excuse me. Curiously, I begged the favor of an old friend, and he received permission to inspect medical records kept by Frondale's Monastery. I discovered that the soldiers died in various ways. Some in combat, some suddenly at night, in the barracks, but in nearly every case, there were signs that poison had played a role in their demise. Yes, poison. Carefully, invisibly administered. The more I read, the more I saw the dark hand of death's embrace at work. Assassins in the pay and service of the monetarists, a society so secretive that few believe it truly exists. But no matter how skilled and devious the assassins, they should not have been able to kill so many of the Sultan Sworn elite without being discovered. Not, that is, without help from within our own ranks. So I asked myself who had the most to gain from their deaths. One by one, the former captain, his trusted aides, the most capable of the Sultan Sworn who might become future commanders, all of them slain by an invisible hand. And with their deaths, the way was open for Solk to become the Sultan Sworn's youngest captain in a century. The monetarists were plotting to kill the best and bravest of the Sultan Sworn, to purge its ranks of greatness, and innovate it so that it could no longer carry out its duty to serve as sword and shield of the Sultanate. Which begs the question, how did Solk remain captain for 30 long years? How did he avoid the poisoner's kiss when men better than him had succumbed? There can be only one explanation. He was the monetarist's cat's paw, the turncloak in our midst. Needless to say, I am more determined to track him down than ever before. While I continue my investigation, I have a trial for you. I want you to seek the gallant armor, the legendary raiments worn by generations of the finest soldiers of the Sultan Sworn. In accordance with Sultan Sworn tradition, the set that would be yours, has been scattered across southern Fanland. Each piece has been locked within a coffer, which will be guarded by 2 men. As best the Sultan Sworns themselves if you were to claim their armor. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alrighty. They're all right here. Brum. Brum. Home. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, back to Ulda. Good, the armor is yours. You have learned your lessons well and honed your skills. Now are ready to face Sulk the traitor. Yes, the time has come. We discovered his hiding place and made contact through emissaries. We are negotiating the return of Oathkeeper. Secrecy is crucial, as is preparation. We will leave only when you are ready. Finland wishes to know if you're ready to face Sulk. Parley in the Segoli. The recovery of Oathkeeper will be the first step in restoring the honor of the Sultan Sword. I have told Sulk that if he returns the sword, we will give him a fair trial. Otherwise, he shall be captured and thrown at the feet of the Sultana for judgment. Parley is to take place south of Forgotten Springs in the Segoli Desert. Your map and I will mark the location. While I believe he is acting alone, we must be prepared for anything. You may be certain that the Monetarist will not take kindly to his surrender. I believe that should the Monetarist discover Sulk is willing to parley, they will surely try to intervene. Therefore, we must not speak of what we do, not to anyone. Travel separately so as not to attract attention. We shall meet again at the parley. Alrighty. Waiting, 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 waiting. So you dared to come. You're a brazen one, I will grant you that. Do you really think I wouldn't find out? Come, come, confess. My allies within the Sultan Sworn have told me the truth. I knew you were in league with the traitor and the monetarists. Confess, with your dying breath, you will tell me where I can find the Oathkeeper and the traitor who stole it. Do you dare accuse my own Sultan Sworn of lying? We're comrades in arms, every one of us bound in brotherhood by our oath. I would trust them with my life. What is your word when set against theirs? We know the meaning of honor. You are a naive fool. I suspected you from the beginning, ever since you showed me the soul of the paladin that traitor Sulk gave you. You were, no matter how briefly, a paladin, and as such you are bound by a code of honor that is as unforgivable as it is noble. Traitor, I sentence you to death, and decree that your body shall lie here and feed the crows. Gotta get the squire first. How dare you use our arts against us? Confess, damn you, confess. You cannot do this. I am the greatest swordsman, superior in every way. You are blinded, Jinlins, by your own conviction. Jinlins, remember your own lesson. A paladin does not exist to defend his position or the honor of his fellow Sultan Sworn. Those men were assassins in service to the monetarists. The moment you outlived your usefulness, you were to be killed. You and this free paladin of yours. Liar, you are their agent. You betrayed us for them. You were always naive, Jinlins. Too willing to trust your fellow man. It is one of your virtues, but you have a deplorable habit of turning your virtues into vices. Think. The information you uncovered, how did you come by it? Did it fall into your lap as if, oh I don't know, someone was feeding it to you for your own purposes? You and the paladins under your command are the monetarist lapdogs. Jinlins, you've been led a merry dance and followed their lead at every step. Then you were never a traitor. You were innocent? I have I've wronged you. Easy now. Your wounds aren't mortal, but you still need rest. I'll take care of the captain. He's had worse. We'll have him back on his feet soon enough. Become a fine warrior, and learned all there is to know about the way of the paladin. I think perhaps that you are not aware just how much you've grown. Well, 'tis time you were made aware, paladin. The captain's recovered. Keep an eye on him for me, will you? He needs someone like you to watch his back. Awoken memories of the past. Yeah, I just tried to kill you, but now we're buds. Paladin and I have done you a great wrong. I allowed myself to be hoodwinked, accused you of treason, and even turned my sword against you. I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. As for me, yes, I'm recovered from my wounds, at least those that will heal. Far more important than that, Solk is innocent. After all, he was never a traitor, and the dream that I had followed in my youth was not a lie. I remain captain of the elite, although a poor substitute for my predecessor. I am now working on a plan to strike back at the monitorists and restore the Sultan's Horn to its former strength. Oh, do not be afraid for me. We've unmasked the foe, and he cannot hide behind his deceptions anymore. The assassins won't find it easy to reach me. For now, I will bide my time, marshal my strength, and when the time is ripe, strike hard at our enemies. I'm just gonna stand here in the same company rather than go into hiding when my entire company ended up being assassins who were there to kill me. Like, I'm fine where I am. Let me just stand in the exact same spot that I was at. Ugh. Let me just mentally go through. We did Monk. We're gonna check down here. We did Monk. We did Paladin. We did Black Mage. Bard. Dragoon. White Mage. Warrior. Summoner. And Scholar. We are fully through the job quests. Woo, boy. And with that, I think I'm going to call it a little early for our stream here. And we'll use this as a good stepping off point to get into the MSQ. Maybe do some more side quests in Mordona. Maybe do a little bit of leveling. We'll see where the wind takes me. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what I have done this stream, you like what I am doing on your way out, if you wouldn't mind giving a like to the stream, that would be much appreciated. If you'd like to know the next time that I go live, the easiest and best way to do so is to click that subscribe button so you can get those go live notifications. And I will see y'all the next time I see y'all.